So today we're going to install a hydraulic handbrake in John Yim's AE86. Right now he has one, it's kind of old, so we're going to replace it with a brand new one. There's two in this box. So we're going to open them up, take a look, show you guys what comes in the kit, and then we're going to go ahead and take out his old crappy one, put it in a new fancy one. Alright John, go ahead and open this thing up.
Alright, check out this. I got this sent to me to Mike 2 days ago. And all this stuff. 8.6 is the best. 8.6 is best. Go Hachiroku. NonStopTuning. Long live 8.6. TX86 day. So there's all this stuff that he wrote on here.
That's how it leaves the factory.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Oh, okay. So we got
packaging.
Packaging. This is how you'll get it. All right. Let's get rid of that.
Alright, so what's in this one, John?
Alright, let's see. If I believe this is the fancy.
Is this the neochrome handbrake?
I believe so. Let me take a look at that. Cut it.
You don't need to cut it. Oh, alright.
Alright. Takes two to open this thing.
It does.
Wow, look at that. That's what I'm talking about.
Check this thing out.
It's worth its weight in gold.
Super neochrome. It comes with the pass-through cylinder.
We're actually going to replace that.
Yeah, we're going to replace this part with a single master cylinder with a single out for dual rear calipers. Which one is in and which one is out on this?
Usually it's going to be marked. Let's see here. This should be the in, and that should be the out. The bigger. We'll take the valve off and take a look and see. I believe that's the in, and then that's the out.
All right. So this one comes with an adjustable switch. So depending on how far forward you would like this, based on where it's mounted, it's adjustable.
Actually, set it on the table here, and you can see. You can adjust it way up there, or all the way back, further back. It's got all kinds of adjustments. There's actually more holes up here. So if you disconnect this little rod here and move it back, you can actually put it way about right here. So it just like almost infinitely adjustable here. Actually, a quick way to tell which one's the in and out is just put your thumb over one of the valves and compress the the handle, and if you're not feeling any pressure coming out, that means that's not the out. This, you can definitely hear it's making pressure, so this is going to be the out, this is going to be the feed. So whenever you tap into your factory brake lines, this is where you want to put the feed from the master cylinder in the front, and then this goes to the rear calipers. So let's take a look at this box. This is the upright.
This should be the 18-inch upright.
Yes, look at that. 18-inch big black handle.
It's not the biggest one though. There is a 27-inch.
I believe it's 24, isn't it?
24. It's definitely floor mountable though.
Yes. So you got a little extra length here. The packaging is a little more discreet, I guess, but same setup. It's got from the factory a 0.7 or 7/10 cylinder on the inside, and this is going to be the in. This is going to be the out.
Is that the equivalent of a 3/4? Pretty close.
Pretty close. 7/10.
And this one comes with a little push rod. Yeah. You just need to install it.
Just needs to put it right. Yep. And
it comes with not one but two clips inside of here.
In case you lose one.
Just in case you lose one.
That's kind of handy. I think of everything. So I've seen some kits that make use of this, but you can fab your own. If you make a little bracket that has little slots cut into it, you can actually use this as a little e-brake lock. So just pull it back. You weld, or not weld in, or make a little bracket that's based a little extension over here. Cut slots in it, and you can kind of wedge this up in there, and it'll act as an e-brake lock, so you can use it to hold your car down. Some of these, this one doesn't have anything like that, but what some people are doing is, if you look closely, there's actually a if you pull it back, if you stick something like a long rod through, it'll lock it in place. So that's kind of a workaround for it. But normally it won't have anything. See how everything lines up if you pull it?
Yep, there it is.
Yep. So you can just stick a rod in there and it'll stay locked. And that's kind of the way you can do it with this one. How the e-brake set up is a little awkward to get to, just because it's more at my almost at my elbow. It needs to be mounted here. So I cut out this little carbon fiber plate from some scrap carbon fiber I had to reinforce the aluminum plate that's underneath, and I'll mount it to there. So I'm going to relocate this unit, well, not this unit, the new unit over here, and I'm going to put this master cylinder on it. This is an independent caliper setup. If you have a dual caliper setup in the rear, then this is kind of what you're going to need, just its own brake lines. If you want to use your current brake pad or brake calipers and not add any extras, then what you're going to do is have to do a pass-through using the other type, or the one that comes with the handbrake. So what we're going to do is just take this out, bend this a little further. I've got an extension cable, and we're going to mount it over there instead of way back here. So give us a second, we'll take it out.
So we're going to take this Willwood master cylinder, and we're going to mate it to the 18-inch hydraulic handbrake that we're going to install. So basically the threads on here are different from the threads on here. So what we have to do is we have to take this off, and then we're going to put it on this one. So come over here real quick. You're going to pop off this boot, which can sometimes be a little hard.
Let's give it a good yank.
Yeah. There we go. Alright, and so, can you see
a little snap ring in there?
See a little snap ring?
Yeah.
Take a pair of snap ring tools. This is not them, but this works. And then this comes free.
Same kind of piston, same kind of, all you're doing is pushing in that little piston. Yeah. So that base is all the same, kind of universal.
Yeah, so we're going to get rid of this old and busted one, pin this new different threaded one. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go. And then you're going to take the boot, stick it back on here. And that's how it should look.
Now the threads will fit.
Alright, so now that we have the Willwood master cylinder thing transferred over, we're going to take this retaining nut and this attachment for the handbrake. Screw it on there. Yeah. Alright, so this is what it's going to look like.
Oops.
And so you push in.
Fluid comes out through here.
Fluid comes out through here. So where's the new handbrake at?
It's inside the car.
Alright. Now we're going to take this master cylinder and put it on the handbrake. So there's these two holes right here. You just slide it in like this. Kind of work it in. And take this. Go. Tighten it. Just tighten it until it stops. Doesn't need to be like super torqued. Then on this side, it's going to have like a little issue getting in there. Just enough. So let's see if we can get it out. There you go. All right, now see how this lines up? I'm going to slide it in there. And so when we put the clip in, it's going to look just like this. We want it to be a little more straight. So we're going to take this out and unscrew this a little bit. was a little more.
Perfect. Yeah.
There we go.
Shouldn't this be up to me since I'm going to be driving it?
Yeah, how's that look, John?
It's fine.
All right.
I can adjust it after you're gone.
So then you take your retaining pin. You're gonna stick it right in through here, and then it'll come out the other side. Take the other retaining clip. Just stick that on there. I usually use a flathead to get this on.
So I gotta figure out how I want to get the e-brake set up. So depending on your car, you're gonna have to decide where and how you're gonna mount your e-brake setup. So this is probably gonna work for me. Actually, that actually works out pretty good because the hole's right there.
That's perfect.
That's actually I can reuse one of these holes, and I only have to drill one hole into this plate. So.
Right. So once you figure out your mounting point, you're gonna have to take the whole thing apart again to get to the holes on the bracket that are on the bottom.
This one actually you might not have to because you actually have a straight shot.
Okay, yeah, there are some.
This one's actually not that bad, but some of them you have to take the whole thing apart after you get it set up and readjust it.
Yeah, but this one has holes in the back and in the front that are pretty clear, so.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good. All right, so we are mounting, screwing these retaining plates and bolts in. Get that lined up. This doesn't seem to be threading in. So this is my temporary solution since I don't have hard brake line, this stuff right here. So I just went ahead and got this out. Got this.
This is temporary. We have to buy some more on eBay. It's
eBay
just,
special.
It's a 3/8.
Well, this is yeah. So this is 3/8 24 pitch. So this is it's going to vary depending on the master cylinder you use. This is Willwood, so it's going to be SAE only. Some of them are metric, so you got to watch out. Make sure you don't cross thread this, because if you cross thread them, you're going to have a leak. Because I fought with the leaks because I didn't know which type of threading I was going to need.
So on mine, I got an ultra short 3/8 24 and a eye bolt brake line, and it's really low mounted, and it's actually below the master cylinder part itself. So that's how mine's hooked up.
Obviously, if you can imagine how it was set up before. Basically, it was right here, and there's no way. I mean, just how awkward it was.
If you have a big guy right with you on the other side,
yeah, it's just
you have to like choke hold. Yeah.
Really, in order to use it, I was using this part of my arm to kind of pull on it, just because it was so far back over here, so awkward. So this is going to be a lot better. It's just more natural. Boom.
And it's really close to the steering wheel, so it's pretty fast.
Boom, boom, boom. Shift. Boom. Yeah, Aaron will be happy.
So in this portion of the video, I'm using the brake line flaring tool. This portion is the clamp. And so right here, I'm using a wrench to tighten the brake line onto the clamp. And then once it's tight enough, I'm going to use the other portion of the tool, the actual flaring tool, to make that brake line larger, and that'll keep the nut from coming off the line. So I bought this tool from O'Reilly's. I recommend this one because you can use a wrench to tighten it. The ones that you can use your hands to tighten, they're not very good. So make sure you have that tip inside the very center of the brake line. Snug it up pretty good. Make sure it's even. If it's off on one of the sides, you could risk breaking the brake line and ripping it. You would have to start over, just cut off a little piece. So tighten it up, be pretty careful, don't put a massive amount of torque on it. You'll be able to tell when it's starting to flare. It's going to get kind of loose, and you'll be able to see the tip inside of the tool itself. So once you pull the tool off, you can check to see if your line is flared correctly. You won't have any rips in there. It'll look just like that. So take off the clamp. And I put a lot of torque on it because I used to have them slip all the time, so. Alright, there you go. Perfectly flared brake line. The nut's not going to come off and it does not have any leaks. Again, if you mess up, you can just like use this tool, cut it off, and then start another section. You're probably going to want to practice a few times when you do this.
So if you're having leaks, this is a great place to look. Every time you have a connection in the line where you're putting two lines together, it might leak. And if it's leaking, you have to go back and tighten it, and you have to tighten it until it stops leaking. Or if it's still leaking, you need to reflare the line because you didn't do it right.
Alright, now we're bleeding the system.
Yeah, we're going to pour some brake fluid into here carefully. Nailed it.
Good. I don't want you messing up my newly covered Sparko seats.
That's right. Alright, you back there?
I am ready. Hold on, let me loosen it here so we just get a free flow going.
Yeah, you can see the reservoir's already gone down a little bit, so you just pump. Yeah, you see it go down.
I can see some like residual fluid coming through.
Yeah, there's going to be some air bubbles. So just keep doing this for a while. You're not going to feel any pressure. Just the lines are empty. You can go ahead and refill.
And never let the reservoir run dry. Because otherwise, well, I guess while you're doing a clean bleed, it's not that bad, but
If you're rebleeding,
yeah,
never let it run dry.
never. I wonder what's. Let's see here.
I think on the third one
I'm seeing
filled.
fluid coming through now.
Good.
Or there's a little bit of a drip. I still need to go to the other side to get the bulk of the air out on that side.
Yeah, one at a time though. I have speed bleeders on mine, so I just leave mine open.
I should do that, but one thing at a time.
Alright, this is not going down as much anymore. So go ahead and tighten that one up.
Alright.
And then go to the other side. When you're bleeding brakes, you start with the longest one from the master cylinder, and then you go to the one that's like second farthest. But with these, it's pretty much teed off at the same spot, so they're pretty much the same exact distance. So, are you on the other side now?
No, we'll start on this side.
Okay, so I'm gonna 1, 2, and 3. Then I hold it.
Holding, and then open up the valve. Feel it coming down?
No, there's no pressure.
No pressure? Alright, there's still a lot of air in the line.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of air.
Alright, opening,
Alright.
closing.
Alright, we just got the line bled on both calipers, got all the air out, and that's pretty much where it stops. And it feels, what would you say it feels like? Kind of squishy, and then it gets harder.
There's a lot of flow here. I think it might have something to do with this.
Yeah.
The rubber brake line that I have temporarily.
You
here.
can see this
Watch
rubber
this.
braid line flex.
Look how much it's flexing. So
Yeah.
it's probably expanding a little bit. That's probably what is contributing to that extra mushiness. I mean, even just that little amount, you see it flexing quite a bit. So if we get a hot stainless steel line like this, just not even actually just a hard line, that'll take away all that flex.
Yeah, and it'll just
should
work.
be just right about there. But right now I have to give it a little bit extra.
A little push.
But
So-
it's working.
Yeah.
It's locking the rear wheels.
So we're gonna go ahead and install this cap. Here, wipe it off.
And then that'll be a job done.
Yeah. Make sure you have plenty of shop towels around because it can get kind of messy.
Working with brake fluid.
Yeah, John, if you move your leg, you can see all the towels we needed. Yeah.
So we ran into a couple little issues, but got them all straightened out.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, that's a lot better than where it was.
Yeah, that's much easier. When we get that line made, we can get it out of the way of the shifter, wrap it around the seat a little bit. Yeah.
Come down here. But this is just to get it going.
Yeah.
For now. It is pretty ghetto though.
It's not really in the way that much.
No, not really, but
Yeah. But when we get the new lines ordered, we'll make new ones.
yeah. All right.
So, brake fluid 5.
Yes.
All right.